the beginning, there was nothing. Until the faintest bit of energy emerged in the form of a single thought. What if? This already confused the newly formed celestial beast. Wasn't nothing a thing? It was a word after all, which already makes it something. Could also be argued that it's a concept, which is also a thing. Luckily, the beast redirected its mind back to Luna's gentle voice before it was able to wander too far pondering the concepts of stuff and things. Yep, that was for memes. The explanation continued, with this faint energy growing billions upon billions of what-ifs until it eventually exploded, creating infinite universes in order to find all the answers. What remained of the original energy took the form of the first celestial, or as many call them, gods. This guy would go by many names and titles bestowed by mortals, but the celestials call him Pangu. Before he took on a humanoid male form, he was also the universe's first dragon, and he still uses a form to travel. At this point, the beast had tilted its head to one side as far as it would go. The goddess sitting in front of it had skin as pale as porcelain, with silvery white hair so long it pooled around her on the floor. Her irises were like two copies of Earth's moon, with a faint pale green tint, though her eyelids were a bit pink and puffy. She seemed delicate and plain, wearing many layers of thin, flowy cloth in very light purples and blues, but nothing ornate, save for some random things braided into her hair that jingled when she moved. Her only marking was a purple crescent shape in the middle of her forehead. The moon goddess was not only the most beautiful thing the beast had ever seen, she was the only thing. It had no base reference for what humanoid meant, nor dragon. Even mortal and male were foreign concepts. In fact, it hadn't even seen its own reflection yet. Oh, right. That's what he looks like as a dragon, Luna responded as she pointed... Whoopsie. As she pointed to a large mural painted on the wall behind the puzzled creature. The celestial beast took its eyes off the moon goddess for the first time, finally observing its surroundings. The moon palace was less of a palace, more just a small ancient Chinese-style building that seemed to sit atop an endless, calm ocean. It was unstaffed. The only other beings there were some lunar moths that flitted about the unending night. All the beast could see, however, was that they were in an airy room filled with candles and floor cushions. Not knowing what any of these things were, its eyes quickly landed on the painted dragon. Pangu's dragon was long and winding, covered in deep blue scales that looked more violet at certain twists and bends. He resembled a Chinese dragon, but with a shorter, near cat-like face, complete with a few whisker-like tendrils. He had a flowing platinum blonde and blue-streaked mane that went all the way down his body, leaving a bushy tuft at the end of his tail. As the beast stared in awe, it noticed one of Pangu's eyes was shut, the other a pale blue with a slit pupil. This dragon was the second most beautiful thing the beast had ever seen. I'm sure you're curious about yourself as well, yes? The goddess's voice carried a hint of excitement. The beast's attention snapped back to Luna so fast it became slightly dizzy. Once focused, its eyes met those of a creature that looked like it was cut out of the night sky. When it started to tilt its head, so did the other creature. Luna was holding a rather ornate mirror towards the beast, with an amused expression on her face. It's you. You're a wolf. Well, a celestial wolf anyway, so not quite the same. I'll show you what wolves are in a moment. The celestial wolf had eyes the color of rain clouds, with its only other discernible feature being a teardrop-shaped gem between them, the same color as Luna's crescent mark. Other than that, it really looked like the night sky in the shape of a wolf, complete with twinkling stars, comets, oars, and more. I'm sorry, but I will not bestow you a name. You already came into being in a very unorthodox way, and, The goddess paused, trying to choose her next words. That gem, it's... She sighed. It's one of my tears. It's infused with my power, and should it ever be destroyed, you'll cease to exist. Normally, celestial beasts are born after a celestial infuses a totem with their power over a long period of time, until it gains sentience. Once that happens, its initial spiritual power is proportional to roughly a fourth the amount the celestial used. Then it's given a name, which grants it the ability to cultivate on its own. As she set the mirror off to the side, her gaze lingered in its direction, as if ashamed to look back at the wolf. Hold on, I can't see chat. Let's see. Okay, I'm not missing anything in chat. I don't even know if anybody is paying attention, but I will keep reading to you. Oh, that's weird. It's not scrolling. It's not scrolling on the screen. Huh. Oh well. Interesting. The silence allowed the wolf's mind to wander once more, leaving a trail of questions. What is a tear? Was I also nothing until now? What is spiritual power? Do I have it? Do I need it? Is wolf not a name? Does my creation also answer one of Hunger's questions? Will existing always be this confusing? Before long, the wolf's ears had drooped and it let out its first sound. A sigh. Luna quietly stood up, somewhat unstable on her feet. I used too much energy at once, instead of using small amounts over time. I do not have enough left to give you a name, nor do I know what would happen to you if I did. With a hand, she then beckoned the wolf to follow her into the next room. The room was smaller than the previous and lacked windows, every wall adorned with a great many mirrors of different shapes and sizes. Right in the center of the floor was what appeared to be a round reflecting pool, from which emerged a few lunar moths, completely dry. Unlike the previous room, this room was only lit by a single large, ornate lamp hovering high above them. The wolf was caught off guard by the many copies of itself that greeted it upon entering, eliciting a brief smile from the goddess before she sat herself down at the edge of the pool. She gently patted a spot next to her. Come, have a look. The wolf complied, peering into the pool that seemed to have no bottom, but only saw the room reflected back. That was, until Luna touched the water with a single finger. As the ripples spread, the reflection in the pool changed to an aerial view of a snowy forest in the mortal realm, lit only by the moon's glow. With a few more gestures of her hand hovering just slightly above the water, the image in the pool seemed to hone in on a pack of wolves running towards a rocky cliffside. The celestial wolf understood right away what these creatures were, and decided that they were the third most beautiful thing it had ever seen. Listen, Luna whispered. They're going to sing. Sure enough, as the wolves stopped to rest atop the cliff, the first one raised its head and let out a long, solemn howl. Two more soon joined and the chorus began, becoming more and more energetic. It really felt like the wolves were singing directly to them. The celestial wolf snuck a glance at its creator, whose face now held a complicated expression. Oh, it thought to itself, so that's a tear. That's the teaser. That's all you get. I'm broken. You broke me. Oh no. Oh dear. You guys! You guys! I just want to hug some gold!